Okay, I did want to try a hunter, so let's do a hunter here. But yeah, it's been years since I had to purchase an arena run. Bubbler, Scalebane, probably Scalebane. How many Blade Masters can one blob get? The sparse data much prefers the Rat King. But the legendary data is so limited. It's hard to know. Rat King's probably the pick. But Okani is extremely strong. Samuro is not worth it. You can tell that this is a card designed with constructed in mind because it's not busted. It's just, it almost requires hand buffs to be busted. Hi, Pohemius. Drawing a card, very good. What the hell? Because we're going to be trying to draft pretty low here. The Okani really wants to play. What if we had a double Okani deck? That would have been pretty fun. Because you play Okani and they miss their 4-drop, and then you play Okani again and they miss their 5-drop. I don't know what this pick is supposed to be. Maybe it's Okani now? We have a hole on 4. Forging would be good. Gets you Rat King sometimes. Probably will draft something higher mana later. Anixia is too slow. When a card like this feels bad, you know the power creep has happened. I think Okani, it's fun anyway. This deck feels pretty good so far. Alright. This is actually a downside rather than an upside in my opinion. I'll probably take the glow scale here. That's good. Pretty dang strong so far. I think I'd take the secret plan. It's because I don't know if we're gonna have like a bunch of cards in our hand. We might, but at the same time, we might not. Well, that gets Rat King, right? We just lost to that earlier. Pet Collector into Rat King. Also gets Elec, which is acceptable. Acceptable. And Diver, we can live with that. Well... the thing is, we only have 2 spells. I mean, I would say Ashara, but we don't have the spells for it. Null will be cheap with all that Discover. Well, I only have technically 3 Discover cards. It's not that much. Gotta be Runthak, right? Could be Cairn. I wish we could take an Ashara. That would be a nice win con. But with only 8 picks left, I sincerely doubt we're gonna get enough spells to... Spells feel like they're down as well to me right now. You like Cairn? Cairn is a good sticky option to push damage. Runthak is so much better. I think I take this. Spell School? That ain't gonna happen. Well, let us first be a little bit diligent and see. Rats of Extraordinary Size and Flark's Boomzooka. That's not worth taking the Dynamo. What the hell is going on here? We could have had a triple Okani deck? That would have been so funny. We take Hydralodon here, but in another world, we could have had triple Okani. Okay, I like this deck, y'all. I like this deck. Excuse me for a few minutes. I gotta redo my coffee. Sorry about the breaks. I'm also... Yeah, I'm gonna redo my coffee, and then we're gonna get back. We're gonna finish the paint, and we're gonna try this busted or legendary hunter deck out. I'll be right back, folks. Thanks, John Coffin. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Mr. Coffin. Speaking of my art, get that back up in here. Art in progress. Okay, so... Rat King we could throw away, maybe. I don't know, you could keep it. 1, 2, 3... Maybe a little too many 5s. A couple too many 5s to want to keep it. Cyber's good. Yeah, you like Gambler Intangible? You're never lower than 15 health in Warlock? Really? I'm always lower than 15 health. Sort of confused by the rune door up there, but okay. How many wins did the Warlock go? Deuce. Yeah, Malygos is certainly not useful in our deck. Varanus is cool. I like this deck a lot. It's just the lack of spells. It's weird. Normally there's an abundance of spells in Hunter. I feel like spell rates are maybe down a little bit. Or a lot of bit. I think I want to remove that. Protect the poison and protect it again next turn. Yeah, I've been drafting Lion's Guard a lot. A bit hard to tell how good it is. Because it is awkward sometimes, you just like holding it and waiting. The thing about the Pelican is you could try to keep it alive, but then they could just ping it. Or maybe more likely they go hit, hit, and then they Arcane Missile, and it probably dies anyway, so I'll just take that trade and make it harder for them to get through the taunt. Hydralodon's so good, maybe best class Colossal in Arena. You know, we've been kind of debating about this ever since the Colossals came out. Ivanovic might agree with you. He's often stumping for Hydralodon. I think it's Gigafin, easily, without a doubt in my mind. Glug is also up there. Just get you out of, contention. Seems reasonable. Hydralodon to me, like I've killed a Hydralodon with just a Fel Rattler, basically, before. It's too easy to deal with for me to call it the best. Hey there, Jones. Welcome. Yeah, and Ivanovic's coming from a statistical perspective, which you can't really argue with that. Can't really argue. So I could Hydralodon here, and I'd have like 3 3-1s on board, the 5-5, but then they Flame Strike and wipe it all out. I'm just gonna Batrider. Hydralodon weirdly unhelpful here. I mean, it's probably still the play, but it's just awkward. Well, that's what. Good. They So I didn't have to think about the trades. That's great. That's swell. Make my day. Be 4 drops, I'll keep the Batrider. CC. This is the one I looked at earlier, Frank? Yeah, with the Dragon Queen. And by the way, you have what, 4 spells? Even in that really good Warlock deck? Yeah, just, you know, in last week's meta, I think 10 spells was reasonable for Warlock, and like 7 for Hunter. Now I have 2 and you have 4. Even in very good decks. Interesting to note. Interesting choice not to trade there. I'll happily do this. It happened twice to me last 2 days. A druid couldn't activate his 4/4 rush, no spells. Yeah, I mean, they cut down on power level in Arena, and now we get to, actually experience that fantasy we had of what if an Arena power level wasn't off the charts. Turns out, decks get kind of boring. So... just desserts and all that. Fantasy and reality. Okay, that's a good Hydralodon. They may or may not have the removal for it, we'll see. I think a Soul Rend just clears everything. Okay. Alright. They didn't have a way to deal with the... fucking... never mind. I'm not, you know, and this is... not to rub it in. This is why Hydralodon's not the best class Colossal. They used 2 very common Warlock cards to easily get rid of it. Having used 2 Unstable Shadow Blast, maybe they don't have more large target removal. But I don't know, you know, other than, like, games where instant concede. Fuck! Where instant concede happens. I just usually don't see Hydralodon survive past the next turn. Maybe 1 or 2 3-1s survive. Still very good, don't get me wrong. Still very good. What did that discard anyway? Stormwind Guard? Mana's a toxic card? Kind of. There's so many toxic cards that it doesn't even really register to me anymore. The discard downside is a pretty severe one, at least. You say easily, but it still put you ahead so much in card advantage. It's true, but them removing our Colossal to put us ahead in card advantage, that's a very good thing for us. Them not being able to remove our Colossal and losing the game instantly, that's a better thing for us. And that's what some Colossals do. I guess. I guess we would pick Minion if we do this. Although that is a 1-cost spell. It's just fine as a body. Yeah, Hydralodon, one of the best minions in the game. But, you know, if we're comparing tier lists of Colossals. Got a very high bar to clear. I bet that 1-cost spell they have isn't very good. Okay, it's mediocre. It would have been an okay thing to counter. But Hydralodon does do that sometimes as well, and most of the Colossals do it sometimes, but not always. Yeah, all the Colossals are really, really good. So... okay then, Ivanovic, what metric would you use to evaluate which Colossals are better than others? Because, you know, responding every time with, yeah, but they all do that. Yeah, they're all really good, but we're talking about which ones are better than the other ones. So how would you make that distinction? Seems pretty good to me. Seems pretty good to me. I've had Colossals 3 decks in a row now, and we have RBO in this one. I had Neptulon 2 decks in a row, and those decks went 4 and 2. That feels kind of bad. I think Ivanovic talk about what it did for you in this game in the general sense, not measuring up Colossals. Well, the conversation we're having is measuring up Colossals, because that was the original question, is which is the best class 1. So the premise is measuring up Colossals. Been talking about it for the last game or so. Leviathan by itself is the worst one. Do you think Leviathan's worse than Kolakio? RBO is Colossal +6 before it even existed. I guess so. Yeah, you're enjoying it, Arrow Girl? It's pretty fresh. I'm still trying to get a handle on it. I've been playing very badly, but maybe once I get the hang of it, I'll be enjoying it. It's a fine hand. Could throw this. I value immune slightly higher, so a lock to the left of D tier for Colossals. Yeah, you know, the issue with Kalak is that you just don't always get the immune because your guy doesn't have initiative. So the shell's generally dead by the time you can attack. But if you get the attack off, it's really sweet. So it's hard to say. In that case, we'll coin the Sunwell, get that out on the board. Leviathan is the worst one. Is it worse than the Warrior one? The Warrior one's a lot of value. I think I might agree with Leviathan, at least very close to the bottom. It has a lot of synergies that make it extremely strong, though. Stuff with mechs and stuff with sunken cards and stuff with, like Phelan having other Colossals on the bottom. The Demon Hunter Colossal. That one's gotten a lot better since the adjustment. But yeah, you don't see it too much. Not seeing a lot of Demon Hunters in general right now. By the way, chat, let me find the screenshot. For those who were watching my terrible warrior deck the other day, there was a prediction made. What did they just... Okay, so they have a million claws now. There was a prediction made about whether the deck would ever get 30 armor, this warrior deck, and I refunded the prediction because I didn't finish the run, because it was too depressing. That was definitely a nearly 0-3 run. Oh god. But this was the result. Off stream, I played the next game, and if, you know, if you bet yes, you could feel good about yourself, because that's 48 armor. That's the highest I got in that run. Okay, Twin Fin. We don't have to. Could just play that. Which is the best for its class itself? I still think if you put Gigafin in any class, it is the best for its class. So my answer is still Gigafin easily. Cheers, Intangible. Yeah, you could either check the VOD or ask me to throw it up on the screen. Hope you have a good day. Well, no busted dragons this time, only a twin tyrant. Maybe we take Scalebane to help our curve out a little bit. Primordial Drake is possibly a better pick. We already have this on turn 8. Oh, the Priest one! Yeah, I don't think particularly highly of the Priest one. I think Leviathan is better than the Priest one. $82 armor. Even with all the removal now, Gigafin has highest upside, but also lowest downside. Okay, let's say that the opponent has 5 damage in hand. You play Gigafin. They shoot your Gigafin with the 5 damage. You still have a 4-7 taunt. If you play Kolak, the opponent has 5 damage in hand, they shoot your Kolak. You have a 0-8 taunt, which is far worse than a 4-7 taunt. So I don't even think Gigafin has the lowest downside. You know, if you remove the Hydralodon body, or the Krabatoa body, or the Kolak body, or the Priest Colossal body, you know, you're ending up in around the same place that you would be at if you remove the Gigafin body. Maybe you will have removed less of the opponent's stuff, but you have a really nice taunt to protect yourself, so that kind of evens out in that way. If you shoot Kolak, it still lives. Oh, it's not immune when attacking? I guess I misremembered. Alright, well that's fair. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot of removal right now, but... Is there a lot of removal that shoots 4+ damage past taunt? And you have to remember that, you know, you can also do stuff to prevent that removal. You know, I've had a Gigafin Crazed Alchemisted, so I couldn't kill it. I've had a Gigafin Silenced. I've had a... Just the other day, somebody played a Gigafin, and I was like, okay, cool, I got removal. I specifically planned for Gigafin. I'm safe here. And then they played Necrium Vial to activate the death rattle of their taunt, thereby making removal, null and void. Yeah, stuff like that as well. A little bit of extra sauce you can put on the Gigafin. I guess we Tyrant here. Yeah, Shadow Step as well, for sure. Akodo or Elik is what we pull. I don't know what to Dredge there. Either way is fine. Go for freezing. Oh, freezing from the secret plan? That would have been countered by that shopkeeper. 5 head. Hey, mouse to bee. That's a nice dance. We're, doing pretty well with this here Hunter deck. As was somewhat expected, I think. We need to... That's a 1, 2, 3. Not the most inspiring cards, but it's a good curve, so we'll keep it. You can't kill me, you have 1 attack. I feel comfortable in doing this. Bit of a heavy hand, huh? Heavy is the hand. At least we get to do something with our mana. Alright, Runthak does good work here. Bit nicer than Cairn would have been, probably. Although we did have too many 5s there. Oh, it was Reckoning, interesting. I was wondering if it would be Judgment. Well, I guess if it was Judgment, it would have procced when I went face, so slight mistake not trading it into the 2-3 there. Unless... I guess it's better if it's auto defense. Very hard to play around Paladin Secrets right now, I found. Very difficult. We do that. It pulls 2 bodies, right? Which makes it better for this. Better to, like, drop Hack Kodo than have it in this way, but that's up well for the champion. Now he's Smork! Slammed it. Slammed him. Smash, smash, bam! Kapow. Splubblorts. That's what we did to them. I don't know about aim shot for the early game. 3 damage for 3 beta. It's a little weak. If we're gonna keep Hydralodon, I would want to be coining it, right? Potentially. So maybe we throw that away too and just keep the dredge. Thanks, Trickstar. How you, Toponomicon? How you doing? We got a 1-drop, which is pretty great. One of our only 2 1-drops. Wingates! Thanks for the follow, welcome to the fun dungeon. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Free spell time. You hate to see it. So we take Specialist, right? You coin the Specialist next turn, you're gonna draw the Mountain Bear for 6 mana, you play 4 into 4 into 5, one of these, into 6, into 7. And you're generally very happy with the world and existence and all that it encompasses. Could have started with the Batrider, I guess? But I like the stats of the 3/6 on the board. Works for me. As long as it clears something, I'm happy. Killer Runthak. Buffed Twin Fin. Very nice, very nice. Buffed Hydrolodon, Rat King, Mountain Bear. These are all very good things for us. Hard to imagine us losing this game, but there's always ways. Always ways. See the buff on the Mountain Bear, totally relevant here. We could also just Rat King, though. And maybe it's better. Big Beast Hunter. Big Chungus Beast. Legendary into legendary into legendary. Here we go. Yeah, also getting the rat down earlier is nice. You're right. This hand is disgusting. I gotta maybe do I pick Hunter over Warlock in a tryhard situation? I'm probably just gonna pick whatever I feel like for a while because tryharding hasn't worked out for me, so. Let's do you. Spoiled for choice. Something like that. Rather than using my voice to say what's happening, I'm just gonna copy and paste because it's so long. Hey there, Lebowski. Hydralodon just, like, hasn't... I'm sure it would have won the game for me whenever I put it down, but the breaking points on it haven't been good. It gets Rat King awake, though, so maybe now is the turn to do it. So you hit this, and then Rat King can go in there, and then you hit, I guess, the Explorer. Not bad. You can also Hero Power, which is a bonus. Makes sense to me. Acha! I'm like Rorschach in my mind. Prison sucks. Well, you're not in prison, right? You're not watching Twitch from prison, are you? You just mean your mind is like a prison? Finish this guy already? I'm trying. Oh, the dragon! Now, how many do I just get a full board of 3-1s, right? Yeah, it doesn't really work. I like this deck. I would give a stink eye to someone who didn't like this deck. I would question their evaluation capacity. $15, yeah. Against Warlock, huh? I think I'll take Okani over the Batrider. Kinda close, though. Could keep both. But then you're kinda missing your curve. I want Okani. I want to see how this deck would get outvalued. Definitely possible for us to get outvalued. You know, if we don't draw our legendaries. Definitely possible. How easy it was for them to deal with Hydralodon? Okay, sure. But anything we play at that point is pretty much gonna take us to the W. Pretty much. Pretty much. Boof. Boof. Pet Collector, probably. Highest upside, I can pull Rat King. Control Hunter. Yeah, what archetype is this deck? I don't know if I would call it control. There aren't like marked shots and stuff. Just like mid-range. High tempo, high swing, mid-range, I guess. Aggressive mid-range, maybe even. We don't have a ton of low curve, which is what confuses it a little bit. But we're hitting 3 strongly. Peck Kodo or Pimp. Could also just hero power trade. Eh. We could choose Okani here. Do we want spell or do we want minion? Probably minion, right? It is indeed Lebowski. It's my first time playing this soundtrack on stream. I dig it so far. Nice little background music. Very on brand for me. Because it's funky fresh? Hi, Revid. Okay, so they played a spell. Let's see what we find. Can we high roll? Oh, the high roll! Look at the high roll! Look at it roll so highly! Double Imp Swarm, huh? They're just refusing to play. Don't have to play any minions, I guess. Okay, this is pretty good. I wish there was a way for me to kill this, actually. Stormhammer could be pretty good. Or we have the Tarantulagram. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't want the hammer to go with the dragons that we're gonna have. Tarantula is really good. Tarantula does help the Rat King, that's true. It's gonna let them have the Okani, I guess? 10, 18... Not quite, but basically. Strike and strike harder. Everyone gets excited seeing an OP non-face hunter. Been a while since Hunter was like good. It's been okay for a minute, but actually stabilizing Keck. Wait. Keck, wait. Well, Worm, you can't play this turn, unfortunately. Could take Amalgam. Or just the Worm for later. Let's reroll our Dragon Discover. Yeah, let me just take that. We'll just go ahead and take that, I think. Kind of wipe our hands, call it a day type thing. Now they may heal a bunch, it's, I suppose, possible. Hooray, we did it! Didn't even get to see our Alexstrasza. No! Alright, we're almost done with the painting. Just a few more finishing touches, and then we have the title. Could keep Hydralodon again. I mean, this is just a pretty good hand overall. 2 poisons in the early game helps you get there. I like it. That Wind Fury card should be banned. You talk about Neptulon? Hisoka? Your Hunter's OP, but in the aggro department. Hello, aggro department. How may I help you with your aggro needs? The 5/5. Oh, the Battle Master. Yeah, we said at the time that it came out over and over again. I don't know what they were thinking printing that card, and I still don't know what they were thinking. I still do not know what they were thinking. Aw, 2/2? Whatever will we do? Oh yeah, we'll do this. Double piercing shot. Ooh, I like it, Zygote. I like it, I like it, I like it. Not gonna stand up super well to this, one hopes. This can buff this up, that's kinda nice. Maybe we could have done that. Tyrant or Straza? Probably... Probably Tyrant. Because Demon Hunter... Demon Hunter might stick with us. To the point that we're not dealing a ton of damage to their face. That's definitely possible. You're gonna ban cards due to broken mechanics in this meta, you'd be banning at least 20 to 30 cards. Yeah, right. I think Grit and Goat have talked about that. That slippery slope of banning cards. Like, if it makes sense to ban these 2 cards, then there's gonna be 4 other cards that it makes sense to ban. And if you're banning those 4, then there's gonna be, you know, etc. You're at 0-2? Oh no. Oh. Well, nothing wrong with the 12-2, right? Am I right? Am I right? Uh... Alright, let's see if there's like a rush that comes down or something. Getting rid of that 5-7 temporarily is, I think, quite good for us. Bans are a gateway drug to more bans. A seafloor gateway drug. Hi, Robopop. I'll be doing work this run? I haven't noticed. I've been busy. Literally I was not aware that we were at 6-0. I've just been working on the paint. Okay. Bellstorm's here. Alright, we have to figure out something pretty difficult, chat. Which is, how are we gonna lose with this deck now? Hi, Bellstorm. How the heck are we gonna manage to lose? They cleared our board. What? Clearing Hydralodon? That's unthinkable! Clearing Hydralodon so easily like that? No card could possibly be as strong to do that. Not even a extremely common Demon Hunter spell? The mysteries of Hearthstone. Bobby, I'm getting the vibes that you're trying to tell me that... trying to tell us that Hydralodon is easy to clear? No, it's really hard unless you have... a card that does it. Then it's easy. We can't, like, win or anything, right? Tyrant puts that to 6. We get 4, 6 face. Wait a minute. That's magnetic, right? So we do win. Took me a second. Thanks, Click Clocker. You the man. Abcolossus. I'm one of the least Colossusist guys you're ever gonna meet. I never studied anything to do with Greece or Rome. And anyway, I've been the one saying this whole meta that you can kill Colossuses. Everyone else is like, insta-loss! That comes down, insta-loss! I'm the only one out here saying, yeah, they're kind of fine. I have colossal friends, it's true. Oh, hey. It's the guy who took down my post on the Arena subreddit. Let's beat his ass. Keep Hydralodon. Seems good. I definitely don't hold a grudge, chat. I don't hold a grudge. Not an insta-loss always, but still worth banning in Arena. You'd ban all the Colossuses from Arena, Bakarov? Old Black Nerd, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Fun Dungeon. I hope you have a great time here. I've seen you around in a bunch of other Hearthstone Arena channels. Glad to see you here. That's a tough start. That's a tough start from Luis. Ivanovic would ban them all from Arena. Interesting, interesting. How you doing, old black nerd? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If anyone is new here at all, I'd appreciate it if you also sent your follows my way. I run a pretty open channel. Happy to talk about anything at all. Any dang thing. I'm a Hearthstone Arena guy, occasionally do other stuff. For example, I had planned for tomorrow, The Walking Dead, with my partner Angry Bee. But they got COVID now, so we're gonna have to push that one back. Just Primordial, maybe? Could also do 2 in 1. Maybe that sets up better for Blade Master? I'm honestly not sure. There's even a world where you weapon that just so that they can't play like a Gorilla Bot, but they just hero powered last turn, so they don't have a Gorilla Bot. Very tough call here. Very tough call. Because getting a poison on the board, pretty valuable. And it doesn't die, but it's all around a more fragile minion than playing 2 minions on the board. Venom Strike Bow. Ah, okay. Okay. I see. We can live with that. It makes Okani functionally useless though, so let's see if we can draw out the other charge before we play Okani. Against Hunter, at some point we might want this Sentinel, even though it's... You know, Sunwell's probably the better card, but... Still wondering about knocking that off. It's fine not to. They're probably gonna be killing our poison here, just so that they can play a bigger minion like a Scalebane. Punished for not removing the Divine Shield. My bad. I love Arena. I hope it wasn't Dread stream because we were all supposed to troll him. Oh man, I was in Dread stream the other day, and Redbeard was there just roasting him, just absolutely roasting him, constantly. Oh, it was very funny to see. Let's get Rat King out and dead, so that it starts, you know, collecting deaths, so that it may live again, and I will just double trade this. It's fine, we're, you know, getting inefficient trades, but as long as they're not dealing damage to us, we're pretty happy, I think. We could put this down next turn, followed by Hydralodon, followed by that. You like the picture? Thank you! I'll make it big when I get an opportunity, because I think I'm done. I think I just finished. It's one of our channel point rewards, Old Black Nerd, if you want to check them out. I draw MS Paintster pieces. Battleground Battlemaster, huh? On tempo? Interesting choice. Maybe not much of a choice. Usually that means that they don't have anything else playable. Nothing more glorious than a Malding Dreads. He's been Malding pretty hard recently, Helabowski. Is that the same stream that it had the clip of Dreads going off at Redbeard about the meta? I haven't seen that clip, so maybe. Maybe. Redbeard was just writing long comments, just roasting Dreads. It's so funny. Oh, it was a Trash Druids I go to. I see. Yeah, I was wondering how you were 0-2 with what you were describing. Momentary confusion. 3 friendly minions. Okay, so... that actually won't wake up with Hydralodon. This into here. 3/3 goes pump pop. Interesting, huh? What if we kill this and this instead? That's probably better, right? And just leave the 5/5 up. I think that's better. Take poison out of the equation. Not enough board space. Yeah, so that's what he was planning, the double troll hit, I guess. I don't mind. I don't mind. Now this Hydralodon was too sticky for them to really put a dent in. Face. 5, 8, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 5, 8, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I feel like you still gotta trade there. I understand he's thinking that the only way out is to, like, do a bunch of burst damage all of a sudden, or maybe, or whatever, but... I don't know, maybe he's got Alexstrasza in hand or something. Anyway, mission accomplished. Luis executed. Duels meta is so wacky. Gotta say, ever since it came out and I played a little bit of Duels, I haven't given it a single thought. In my mind, it's free and clear. Tech W, I came because it's a LGBTQIA friendly channel. They're so comfortable. Hell yeah, old black nerd. Yeah, you know, I like to use this platform to talk about, like I said, anything, really. Mental health, LGBTQIA stuff. We talk about race, we talk about class, politics. And it's not to, like, stir the pot or anything. It's just because I think all these things need to be talked about more openly. And even though it drives some people away because they're uncomfortable, I think ultimately it creates a more comfortable space for a lot of people because they know where they stand. Contract honored. Hey, Damien. Welcome, welcome. Contract honored. I love it when a contract honors together. GG, Luis. I feel bad that you had to queue into this deck. I was very happy to defeat a strong, upstanding member of the arena community. But I'm sorry you had to deal with this 4 legendary hunter. I honestly have not had to give much thought to these games, which is rare in this meta. Usually games are like... you're clawing at your brain, trying to figure out how to stay on the board. These games have come relatively easily. Do you keep a Mountain Bear? We have 2 and we have 3, which makes me think yes, but then again, we do have stronger cards than the Mountain Bear, I suppose. Against Paladin? Maybe you don't. Maybe in this deck you actually don't keep the Mountain Bear going first. So, are you bisexual? You know, I've heard about being bisexual is you never forget. It's like being bisexual. You never forget. Not a great board for the Explorer. We could do like a secret play. We could just do Twin Fin. I don't know what I am, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not that concerned to find out what label makes most sense. I'll go ahead and feed them the poison. I think it's fine. I'd rather keep the initiative in hand. Oops. It's like when you like hanging out with someone and they take a deep breath and you're like, oh, what are they gonna say? And then they just... I'm not bisexual, I'm trisexual. You're attracted to 3 different genders? I'm surprised I've never heard trisexual as a term before. I'll just clear the decks. It's kind of a sad one, but it's a, you know, we want an empty board. We just want them to not be accumulating stuff on board. And so they don't. At Kodo, possibly the worst pool, but still acceptable. Yeah, I don't ultimately know what to say about my... Porn T-Rex hub. It's the little arm fetish, right? That's what you folks are into, you porn T-Rex likers. It's the little arm fetish. Guess we bear here. Speaking of the LGBTQ community, we're gonna go ahead and bear. Yeah, I don't rightly know what to say about my sexuality category. I know that I'm a white, hetero, straight passing fellow. I know that I'm dating a beautiful, black, non-binary person. And so, it would be impossible for me to be straight, since I'm not dating a woman. If you're going by the letter of the law. But I also know, perhaps most importantly of all, that I want people to know that this is a safe space for them. People of all kinds. Except for, you know, bigoted people. To be clear, bigoted people are not welcome here. Big-titted people... Sure, absolutely. You know, that's your business. 3-6... Alright, yeah, we could just last through this. 3-6, 9, 11, and we can get an honorable kill as well. I think we do 4 and 4. We should probably get a move on. Go. You, and then you, and we go ahead and counter a minion, because they still have coin in hand. Boom. Exhales were heard around the chat. Oh, thank God. I almost lost 90% of my audience, right? People that hate bigots can be so single-minded sometimes. That really is the position of the right now in the culture wars. Right-wingers are really like, you're bigoted against my bigotry, that makes you as bad as me. What a Giga Chad move. I'm 100% with you. We need more laws to provide more help. I'm cis, but I'm also a minority. We're on the same boat, and if we all come together, no one can stop us. All of us would break the system. I think we can crush this together. Beautifully said, beautifully said. I think you're gonna have a good time here, old black nerds. We love that. We love a good conversation about class consciousness, and there's more of us than there are of them is one of my favorite mottos. We get pitted against each other because, you know, the ruling class knows that if we actually came together, they'd be fucked 6 ways from Sunday, so... Let's keep deprogramming that... propaganda. And that's why we gotta talk about it. You can't deprogram propaganda without talking about it. The revolution is going to start in an arena Twitch channel. Let's go! Oh man, I mean, it's an interesting statement, right? Because it's absurd, on the one hand. Like, you know... to think that you could, like, cause global change by bullshitting on Twitch in a niche community like Hearthstone Arena. But on the other hand, if you don't start there, where the fudge are you gonna start? 3, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16. If you don't start there, then where? I guess we do just, Ruth Bader and Ixia here. Try to make a little bit of board space. I guess we could do like this. We could take the damage, no problem. And then we keep more whelps this way. I wonder what could punish us. I mean, a Consec clears everything but the RBO. It could start anywhere. And the truth is, it's gonna start nowhere. And by that I don't mean that the revolution is not gonna happen, I mean that it won't have a single starting place. And the way that we're taught history, it's very event-focused, so this one thing happened that this one person did, and it sparked this movement. That's never how movement works, though. You know, we always learn in the history books, like, Lincoln freed the slaves, or, you know, Washington crossed the Delaware, or, Reagan fucked everybody, you know, but there's huge, massive, many peopled movements that put the pressure on these famous figures to do these things. No president ever did anything good for the underclass without significant pressure from a large worker-based, people-based movement. And we tend to forget about those people in the history books, but it's not gonna be one dude who starts the revolution. Always gonna be thousands and thousands and thousands of people working over generations to create the infrastructure, to create the support systems, to move the needle on the ideology. And then, when that moment, that key moment happens, all of those forces can come to bear and cause a rupture. I'll make my paint big since I think I'm done. This is what I painted. Simon as Rorschach with "I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me" vibes with Blobby on the toilet. That was the prompt. I hope Intangible enjoys it whenever he sees it. Simon is our cat, by the way, who kind of looks like this, with like a Rorschach head. Usually Simon doesn't stand blocking doors like that. He does like to sort of chill out in thresholds, though. I don't think he's totally aware that he's in the way. Alfred! Is anyone who's ever existed in the world named Alvin except for that chipmunk guy. Every time I see this name, I can only think of the chipmunk guy. True, and I'm fine with this. Not all chat needs to be mindless. We spend enough time in our lives escaping. Yeah, and sometimes people want to log on to Twitch and not have to think about, you know, mass climate destruction or whatever. And I'm sympathetic to that. And there's, you know, 98% of Twitch channels that exist for that. So have fun at those channels. And it also doesn't have to be unpleasant every time you talk about these things. I think we coined something. I think we coined... Elec? I think we coined Elec. You know, you could play with it. You know, once you get over a little bit of defensiveness and a little bit of reticence, then you can really play with other people about stuff, even like politics. Escapist content gets a little old after a while. Yeah, and I have no problem with escapism whatsoever, but I also think that as an entertainer and an artist with a platform, got a responsibility to do right by the people who, you know, get filtered through this platform. Hashtag filtered. Truth, that's why they murdered MLK. His poor people's campaign made them scared. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So for those of you who don't know what Old Black Nerd is referring to, Martin Luther King Jr., one of the greatest heroes of American history, was murdered by the American government because he was essentially causing trouble for them. And he had been for a long time. You know, Lyndon B. Johnson hated him and his movement so much, so much. He made a lot of enemies, speaking truth to power. But the straw that broke the camel's back wasn't arguably racial, it was class. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s politics were evolving over time. He was beginning to preach more class awareness with his Poor People's Campaign. He was beginning to use more anti-Vietnam rhetoric. And he was even beginning to talk with Malcolm X, who he had previously been seen as an alternative to, rather than a collaborator of. All that was the straw that broke the camel's back, I think. So he got assassinated. And we really have not had a proper class-aware mass movement in this country since then. So the CIA, or whoever the fuck, they did their job well. They kneecapped what could have been a very... what already was, and what could have been an even more impactful moment in history. I think well, getting Rat King out early is good. We know this. We could just go ahead and do that. And, you know, Martin Luther King Jr. was such a dangerous symbol when to the ruling class when he was alive. But they killed him and then took his legacy and co-opted it into this, like, kind of liberal fantasy of, yes, non-violence. Non-violence is always the answer. We just have to kind of talk to each other and we could figure things out. And, you know, this is not like those nasty property-destroying rioters. You know, non-violent movements are the way to go. But that's a total flattening of Martin Luther King's politics. In fact, he spoke openly with vitriol against white liberal moderate politics. Now they've completely co-opted his radical politics and treat him like this guy in history who did so much. But that doesn't speak to anything about me, because I am an elevated mind. I am post-racial. Interestingly enough, World War I couldn't really be traced back to any single moment. Yeah, of course. They never really can. I mean, they used that one guy getting assassinated, right? The one, Franz Ferdinand. They used that as the single moment. But it's always very complicated and bound up with so many other things. We could just do that. Not bad. Damn, Terraria just got hype. If I want an apolitical streamer who won't raise my IQ, maybe lower it, I'll watch Dreads. Hey, Dreads is great for that. Dreads is very funny. Your grandfather's named Alvin. Are hot tub streams escapism? They're sometimes political, and you'd be surprised. I see a lot of hot tub streamers reviled on Twitch for being like vacuous or empty content, but they actually have to speak to issues of gender and sexuality a lot because of how toxic their chats are. So escapism maybe sometimes, but also there's a lot of substantial. This should be a very good Hydralodon, because it kind of thwarts their Super Collider. It wakes up the Rat King. Let's kill you. Yeah, please don't apologize for being political. Speak your mind, speak your heart. If Amaranth talked about politics, I'd crap my literal pants. Well, prepare yourself for a poopy butthole. Because she does. And I think it's just misogyny why people think that these people are like, that these folks who do hot tub streams are like empty-headed or vacuous. It's just misogyny. People think that they like aren't working hard, but they work harder than like pretty much anyone else on Twitch. So this is a problem. Like, do we trade? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if face is good enough. We actually have to think about this game. Engage conscious thinking procedures. 9 face. Then they just AoE. Yeah, that's not great. I want to do something like this. Hey there, Ben. I think it's safe to say Hunter is back on the menu, boys. I don't know about this game. We might lose. I was kind of hoping for a flawless run. Very hard to do, but they whitewashed him. Absolutely. Most people just remember the "I have a dream" and not the whole speech. They couldn't read the rest. Yeah, isn't that really funny how quotes just get kind of shaved down right up until the point where they're not really saying anything at all? Could be I'm just basing my opinion on what little I've seen of her, which wasn't political at all. Sorry. Yeah, it's okay, Lebowski, and you know, the fact that you can see that and say that, I think, is really good. Rather than, you know, getting defensive, being like, well, of course she's not political, you know, so, I've watched a little bit of Amaranth with Angry, my partner. We both find her to be a kind of a fascinating figure. We've watched the like mini documentary they made about her as well. I've heard Amouranth speak to political issues about gender and sexuality, but she actually, I think, talks a lot about, like, animal rights adjacent issues, too. That's what she wants to, like, do with her life. Take care of animals. We take Sunken Sentinel or Okani. Not really sure which. If we're gonna have RBO coming down, what's gonna help us to follow that up with? Probably the taunt, if we have anything left to protect, right? And this, I don't know, do we even play it? They're gonna have what have they used? Just the Drake. They're gonna have the AoE, but the AoE hurts them too, so I think we do play it. Cleaning poopy pants. We probably disagree, but a normal girl would never go online dressed like that. Yeah, we do disagree, because that's a sexist, shitty thing to say. Normal people want to make enough money to survive and have a good life. And this is the way that she found to do that. Also, there's no such thing as normal people. Also, let's not shame people for how they dress. Also, under capitalism, you gotta do anything to survive. And that's currently what the market demands, so there you go. I think it's really gross to be blaming women for the performance that they do in order to please the male gaze. Because that's not something they could choose to really opt out of, the male gaze. That's something that, you know, unfortunately, they're stuck responding to in one way or the other, whether they want to play into it for their own benefit or whether they want to, you know, oppose it and face the consequences. Because that's how the patriarchy works. You oppose the male gaze, you face the consequences. This is all like Madonna horror complex as well. You know, because of patriarchy and sexism, we struggle as men to believe that someone could be dressed in a sexual manner and also saying intelligent things at the same time. But, you know, surprise, surprise, it's possible. I want to keep a whelp alive, so we'll trade like this and also get a couple of Rat King charges back. I love Amouranth because she does what she wants because it's her body and no one else. I can't knock her hustle. Yeah, and like I said, you know, it was interesting learning what her end game is, what the means to an end is. And it's literally just like raising animals on a farm. That's what she wants to do. And she learned that she can make money this way. So she works fucking like 16-hour days. She works like 16-hour days, chat. Barely sleeps to do everything that she needs to do to keep her, employees. Yes, she's got employees. She's got a fucking team because there's so much to do. Oh yeah, that's bug. I forgot. I guess we go face. To do everything she has to do to do the photo shoots for her social media, which are extremely work intensive, by the way. You don't just like take a phone and go like this when you're that kind of celebrity. Everything has to be polished and there's costuming and wardrobe and lighting and blah 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 blah. And to do all the Twitch streaming that she does, which she does for, again, like a dozen hours a day at least. And I don't know, whatever the hell else goes into having a platform so large that I can't even imagine. I had a cinema studies professor talk about the male gaze, patriarchy, etc. It's something that gets brought up in film study. academia a lot, especially. Because of... I want to say Mulvey? Mulvey is the theorist who talked about male gaze in terms of cinema studies. And the philosophers that I enjoy and follow feel that her writing on it in the 80s is a little bit outdated, and unfortunately, it's the, like, only writing that people use in film study courses. But regardless of that, the idea of the camera as a conduit for the male gaze is pretty ubiquitous in film study circles and very worth learning about. Yeah, we don't have to shame stripping as a profession. And again, there's nothing shameful about stripping or prostitution or putting your booty on Twitch. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. And also, the reason that that is something that can make you money is, again, because of patriarchy and male gaze. So that's not the person who's doing its fault. We wouldn't want, you know, we can lament people being forced into sex work that they don't want to do, while also not shaming the profession of sex work, for example. And you could also make an argument that sex work is a much broader thing than we give credence to. Like, streaming at all could be considered sex work if you abstract it enough. And we've had this conversation before, too, about, like, what all you could consider to be sex work. Oh, Big Bishop's still in the bathroom. I don't want to keep both of these threes. I haven't played the Pack Kodo, like, at all. It could be a better keep, but I'd rather take the more conservative Tar Creeper in case this druid comes out swinging. Visits to her plastic surgeon. I don't believe that Amaranth has gotten plastic surgery done. So, did you just assume that that's the case, or have you heard otherwise? She also does some sleep streaming. Okay, now this is an interesting one to me, the sleep streaming thing. This is a really interesting one to me, because I've been noticing that too. That sleep streaming has gotten more prominent recently. I find that fascinating. Because once upon a time, that was bannable on Twitch. You weren't supposed to be streaming yourself while sleeping. Wonder how much her appearance will change? I mean, the maintenance of it would change entirely, I have to assume. Prostitution should be legal? Yep. Banning these things, like abortion, prostitution, whatever, it just makes them more unsafe to practice. So it's a low-key or maybe high-key way to target poor people. Prostitution has health hazards? Yeah, but it would have fewer health hazards if it were legal and more regulated. So, it being illegal actually generates most of those health hazards that you are acting like you're concerned about. You know, it's sort of like, you know, by saying prostitution should be illegal because of the health hazards, you're sort of making a Christian argument that sex education should not be taught because it encourages kids to have sex and they shouldn't have sex until they get married. That's kind of the argument you're making. Whereas the truth is, if you educate kids about sex, it doesn't necessarily raise rates of having sex, it just lowers rates of unwanted pregnancy and STDs. So make it legal, make it regulated, get the communication out in the open, and we'll find ways to keep people safe. Doesn't it propagate and force the male gaze? What specifically are you asking about, Oxdans? The existence of sex work? Or you talked about the streams? Or... Got a lot of plates spinning in the conversation, so I want to make sure I know what I'm responding to. Let's just do this and sit and let that get larger. You can't say definitively everyone who gets into sex work does so with all the options on the table. My friend Lebowski, you're just talking about the workforce. We're coerced into the workforce. It doesn't matter if it's sex work or office work. Do people who go into the fucking office for a 9 to 5 every day feel like they had a lot of options to choose from and like they're empowered to have control over their lives? No, they feel like they had to do it or else they were gonna starve. This is a problem with capitalism writ large, not a problem specifically with the existence of sex work, I would argue. Let's just do this. I know it's like a rough thing to take that poison on the chin, but we get 2 other taunts. Yeah, the reason that homelessness exists and the reason the workforce is constructed as it is because it's coercive. It's we're basically being threatened into taking jobs that we don't want to take, and that's how profit goes brrr. Amaranth definitely has fake boobs. Are you saying that because your eyeballs are boob doctors, Camplify, again? Or have you seen the paperwork? Because this is a pretty, again, a pretty misogynist thing to assume that just because boobs look a certain way, they're fake. I want to say I've heard her say that she hasn't had surgery done and that everyone's saying that she has is just like a sexist assumption. I don't remember for sure that I've heard that, but... Okay, let's just do one of these. I don't get how someone can watch this sleep stream unless they use it as white noise. I find it fascinating, man. I find it fascinating. How can you legalize women selling their body for money? All of us are selling our body for money. I'm telling you, man. That's how the workforce works. All of us are doing it. You gotta come to the office 8 hours a day. Get that paycheck. We're all selling our bodies for money. That's what capitalism is, baby. Sex work is just frowned upon because it's, you know, a woman taking, like, power over her situation more times than not. Not to say only women do sex work, also. As, you know, people of all stripes do. I think we are going face. Although this direwolf is kind of annoying. I'll just do this in hero power, probably. Porn is very educational for a lot of people. That's actually true. 11-0, baby! Here we go! Can we get there? Let's get some energy in the chat. Some energy. It's actually true that porn is very educational for a lot of people because sex education is so repressed, and that's kind of a problem because the porn industry right now is so patriarchal, and it teaches people a lot of bad practices in terms of their sexual fantasies, a lot of, like, self-hating and women-hating practices. But there's a rising movement of, independent porn that isn't part of that patriarchal industry, and that has a potential to be educational in a healthier way for people to learn about bodies and how they work, and how fantasies work, and what your sexuality can be. If prostitution would be legal, more girls would choose that profession. What I definitely don't want to happen. Well, nobody gives a shit if you want it to happen or not, Douche. What we should all care about is whether the people who are choosing the profession want to do it. I don't really care what you think. Construction workers sell their bodies for money. In fact, I was just talking with a theater artist who also works as a construction worker, and he wanted to make a piece about that very thing. It's true. I thought this was a Hearthstone stream, not Terraria. That was a bait and switch, Jeremy J. I was expecting not a politics stream, but you hit me with the not Terraria. It was very good. When I was in Philadelphia, that city is cursed. Stay away. That's where I live! What am I gonna do, old black nerd? That's where I live! That's where I live! I like Philly, okay? Oh, don't tell Velstorm she's not informed about that, because you're just straight up gonna be wrong about that. Oh, Velstorm probably more informed than anyone else talking in this conversation is my guess. You're gonna take the L on that one. Why did I say it? Okay, good point. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. So Twitch should allow porn to be broadcasted on their website? Why do you care? That's not. That's also like we're kind of having separate conversations here. One is about sex work, and one is about Twitch, and they're also correlated, but they're independent. So. I forgot about that command, CJ. A lot of the big social media and content platforms actually got prominent because of pornography and sex work. And this thing keeps happening where platforms like OnlyFans get popular on the back of sex workers and then try to ban sex work from their platform to be more presentable to investors and shit. Which is just horrible, a horrible thing that keeps happening over and over. Because they're exploiting those sex workers to get big, and then trying to cut them out from their platforms, and there was a lot of blowback against the OnlyFans thing, and I think they reversed their decision, but it's still a trend to keep an eye on and learn about. Thanks for your assumptions, Lebowski, but I'm very familiar with many sex industries, and I assure that your shame is far more damaging than making these industries more accepted. Yeah, Velstorm knows her shit. Velstorm knows her shit. I don't find you convincing at all? You should. It's all good, old black nerd. You take your time. Thank you for the Prime subscription. I'm catching up with chat, by the way. I'm a little behind here. Fabin R93, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate that a lot. Any primers in the chat? Free Prime sub if you have Amazon Prime. You can support a streamer every month. I recommend it. Is she an academic? Yeah, sure. Rambo style, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the fun dungeon. Are you an academic who also thinks about sex work on a relatively daily basis because of what you do for a living, Lebowski? I feel like we have different values here, which is fine. I just wouldn't survive if I found out my daughter would decide to do sex work. Well, that's a problem of control that you're feeling, Duhei. That's a problem of control, and it has to do with generations and generations of men trying to control the lives of women and women's bodies. So if you really care about someone in your family, you would want them to have agency. And if you're actually going to let them have agency, you actually have to let them choose to do what they will with their life. You don't have to like it. I don't think my mom particularly likes what I've chosen to do with my life in the past couple of years. But she hasn't tried to stop me, and I respect the hell out of her for that. Your assumptions are mounting, Lebowski, though, because you're assuming that choosing to do sex work is an automatic destruction of your life, and that's just straight up wrong. There are many exploitative institutions in sex work, but sex work itself, like, I would argue every streamer on Twitch is selling their body for money. Sex work itself should not be negatively connotated, and should not be, like, a doom sentence. I think that's the argument that we're trying to make. That you see it as some sort of, like, damning mark, or something that someone won't recover from, but it's very much not that. It doesn't have to be that. I would like to take the honorable kill here, I think. Even though we don't get to play 2 cards. Shit his robe. This warlock shit his robe. I'd have no issues with my daughter doing sex work as long as they're knowledgeable about their choice and not just doing it on a whim. And your son as well, for that matter, I'd warrant. Yeah, hell yeah. One of the programs from the nonprofit I worked for were homeless LGBTQIA people who were kicked out of their homes or just used as a safe space. Yeah, that happens way more often than any of us would like, I think. Very sad. Just a 2-3 on the board. We could trade with the weapon. Let's see what's inside of you. Might like that healing, actually. These are trash, but I'll take this. Might even use it now. I would never let my daughter or son do sex work. You should let your kids choose the life path that they want to choose. What's the difference between sex work and coal miners? – 4, 7, 8, 9. Can't quite win yet. Are we willing to take that damage? Go down to 13? I think we're willing. I think the body's willing. Maybe we grab a Primordial Explorer. Order, huh? Maybe we grab an Sharon Sentinel. And maybe we go pop, pop, pop. Feels inherently easier for females to get into sex work than males. Well, I would take issue with the word inherently, because I don't think it's, like, for genetic or biological reasons per se. I think it has to do with the patriarchal structure that we occupy. But yeah, no, it's true. Master Cow, thank you for the subs rolling in. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that support. Thanks for giving me a little bit of financial support. Thanks for thanks for paying me to continue displaying my body on screen for you all to enjoy. You speak the truth. I need to come here more often. You're very welcome here, old black nerd. I would love to see you more often. Yeah, you should let your kids do what they want with their lives. And if it's dangerous, then you should help them figure out how to do it in a less dangerous way. They're just not gonna talk to you if you are being totalitarian about it. They're just gonna cut ties with you. The heart wants what the heart wants. 12-0? We did it! I think it's my first Hunter 12-0, y'all. Hey, Hype Tray is close. Thanks for the support, everybody. Let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Something like sex work would put negativity and shame to the family name. Yeah, but it shouldn't, and you could be the first step in deprogramming that negative connotation. Because the thing that's wrong there isn't the sex work. The thing that's wrong there is the connotation, the cultural connotation. And if you take it to be sex work is bad and I don't want my family associated with it, then I think you have a little bit of learning to do.
On 12-0.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Menace, appreciate the 200 bits. And he reads who really gave that sub. CJ Rebs gifting to Salty Sea Dog. Thank you for that one. Pill Guy gifted to the Master Cow. Thanks, Pill Guy. I appreciate that. Paying forward the gift you got. Rexar is selling his body. Hey, when you take up that hunter life, you're selling your body to the wilderness. Ooh, 76% of the way to level 2 hype train. That feels good. I appreciate the discussion as well, and as long as we all walk away feeling like we got exposed to some new ideas and didn't feel like dehumanized, then I think it was a successful discussion. You know, we're not gonna solve all the world's problems. Wanhu was taken. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. Okay, I'm almost caught up. Isoleucine with the 10 bits, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we caught up with chat. You helped me get the 12-0 chat, because something that you need to know about Blobby's channel is that I play my best when I'm distracted, and you were suitably distracting that run. So thank you, chat, for giving me good fodder for discussion. That's the first 12 I've had in a little while. Definitely first 12-0 in a long time. Much to celebrate, much to celebrate. We gotta pick an MVP whenever I go 12. I like to pick an MVP. And then we make that card golden. Thanks to the GG Lens. Velstorm gifting a sub to Lebowski. Oh, look at you. That's good. That's community. That's community. Thanks so much, Velstorm. And enjoy your emotes, everybody, if you've been the recipient of subs. Thanks, Sivanovic. I just can't understand why people think they can own someone else's body if they consent. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's it. You don't own anyone's body. Not your wife, not your kids. Oops. I meant to pick an MVP first, but we can look at the deck tracker here. Alright. Who's it gonna be? The Clocker, Dwarven Sharpshooter. No. Secret Plan didn't do a whole lot. We got a couple freezing traps out of it. That was good. Bloodseeker was strong, but we didn't see it that often. Tuskar, pretty good. Pakoto didn't do jack. The double Primordial Explorer, definitely in contention. Definitely in contention. Yeah, honestly, it's so funny with these 12-0 decks, there's nothing that really stands out. Maybe Pet Collector is a candidate? It's just everything works really well together when you get a deck like this. Hydralodon, definitely a candidate. But Hydralodon, you know, did it win us games? It probably won us a few, right? Like maybe 2 or 3. I would say Pet Collector or... I mean, the Primordial Explorer. The Primordial Explorer, right? It got us Raid Boss on Nixia a bunch of times. Congrats on the coast to 12-0, thanks. Did I... Wait, I'm sorry, did you just not... I pressed the wrong button, chat! I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I was meaning to show you, but... This is what I meant to show you. We're not done, sorry to baited you. I meant to show you my deck listed. Are you on the arena board? I'm actually not for last season, but I was number 3 on NA the previous season. No, I'm still here, don't worry. Yeah, it has to be the Primordial Explorers, right? %of opponents being Warlock must have helped. You don't hate to see Warlock when you're a hunter. The thing is, they have so much removal. Do I already have a golden of this? Yes, wild is fine. I guess I don't. Let me upgrade ya. Oh, we were talking about Tyrannosaurus sexuals earlier. You got the tiny arms thing. Some people getting a little riled in the chat, probably, looking at these tiny arms. Hey, to each their own. Personally, I would never let any kid of mine get surgery to tinify their arms, but... Hey, maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm a bit of a dinosaur myself.